Today's brief video is going to offer you a simple explanation of how Medicare supplement plans work, how much these plans cost, who should and shouldn't consider purchasing a Medicare supplement plan, and I'm also going to share some tips and tricks with you that could save you tens of thousands of dollars in retirement. So stay tuned. Medicare supplement plans are also known as Medigap plans, so you'll hear me use those two words interchangeably. These are plans that are offered by private insurance companies, and their benefits are regulated by Medicare. So the plans are designed to be secondary supplemental plans to your traditional Medicare benefits. So traditional Medicare doesn't cover everything at 100%. There are certain gaps in traditional Medicare, and these plans are designed to fill in the gaps. The chart on the screen right now shows the various gaps in Medicare along with the Medicare supplement plans that are available and how the plans pay those gaps. So Medicare supplement plans all have letter designations just to make it as fun and confusing as possible. But to simplify it, the first thing you need to know is that many of these plans just don't make sense to purchase when you look at the cost versus the benefit ratio. And some of these plans just aren't offered by many or any insurance companies. But the popular plans, the ones that are usually the best value right now, will be Medicare Supplement Plan G, which also has a high deductible version that I'll talk about, and Medicare Supplement Plan N. So I'm going to review those two today to give you an idea of how these Medicare supplement plans work. I want to give Plan F an honorable mention as well. Now, this plan is no longer available to any newly eligible Medicare beneficiary as of the year 2020. But if you turned 65 or became eligible for Medicare prior to 2020, you could have gotten Plan F. You can still get Plan F if you're not a newly eligible Medicare beneficiary. Now, this is the only plan that covers 100% of the gaps in traditional Medicare. That means that if you have a Plan F, you have no deductible, no copays, you don't pay anything out of pocket at the doctor and hospital for any Medicare covered service. Sounds great. However, Plan F is usually priced higher than the other Medigap plans and sees higher rate increases than many other Medigap plans. So it may not be the best value plan overall. Now, Medicare Supplement Plan G is the next most comprehensive plan that's available to everyone this year. And this plan is almost identical to Plan F. It covers all of the Medicare gaps except for the Medicare Part B deductible, which is a $240 annual deductible this year. So if you have a Plan G, you pay the first $240 of your medical expenses whenever you go to the doctor or outpatient each year. And then after that, the Plan G kicks in, and between Plan G and Medicare, you have 100% coverage for your Part A and B services after that. Medicare Supplement Plan G also has a high deductible version that's available. And on the high deductible Plan G, you pay your Medicare copays, deductibles, cost share until you've reached the plan's high deductible, which this year is $2,800. The deductible can increase every year with inflation. Once you've met that higher deductible, then the high deductible Plan G kicks in and pays 100% after that. High deductible Plan G is a good value in some parts of the country, not a great value in other parts of the country. Plan N is the other most popular option, and this plan is very similar to Plan G as well. There are two things that make Plan N different. Now, you still have to pay your Part B deductible, just like on Plan G, you have that same deductible that you have to pay if you have a Medicare Supplement Plan N. But then after that, if you have Plan N, you still may pay copays for certain doctor's office visits. Now, the copays are based off of the code for that specific office visit. I've linked a document below that shows you which office visit codes will trigger that copay if you have a Plan N. The copay is capped at $20 for an office visit and $50 for an emergency room visit if you're not admitted to the hospital. The copay is waived if you get admitted. And I've also linked a video below about some of the more recent changes that are impacting when you'll see these copays on Medicare Supplement Plan N. So if this is a plan you have or you're considering, be sure to watch that video below. It goes into more depth about Plan N and how the copays work. The other difference between Plan G and Plan N is that Plan N does not cover Medicare Part B excess charges. Part B excess charges are pretty rare. We hardly ever see them. However, they are covered by Plan G. They are not covered by Plan N. Now, some data suggests that 99% of Medicare claims have no Part B excess charges. So the data shows us that it's pretty rare that you would see these. And in addition, in some states, the ones you see listed on the screen right now, Part B excess charges are illegal or very limited. So you'll want to factor that in if you're considering Medicare Supplement Plan N, but I wouldn't consider it a reason to not consider Plan N, which can be a great value plan for many people. And keep in mind, on any Medicare Supplement plan, there are no network. So that means that you can choose your own doctors. There's no network. If you have a Blue Cross Blue Shield Medicare Supplement Plan G, you don't have to go to doctors that take Blue Cross Blue Shield. You can go to any Medicare doctor anywhere in the country, and they must take your Medicare Supplement plan. So that's one of the great things about these plans, is that you can choose your own doctors. There are no provider networks. Now, when it comes to monthly premiums, what will you pay every month to be enrolled in one of these plans? That is going to vary greatly depending on a few different factors. One of the biggest factors is where you live. That's going to impact what you pay for a Medicare Supplement plan. So on the screen right now, you can see rates here in Texas, where I live. Here are some rates for Plan G for a 65-year-old female. You can see where the rates fall. And again, the rates can vary from one insurance company to another, but it's always the same plan. No matter which insurance company you choose, the plan benefits are the same, even though the rates can vary. Let's take, for example, New York State. That's the state I was born in. In New York, there are some different rules surrounding Medicare supplement plans, how they're priced, as well as when you can buy one and change your Medicare supplement plan. And because of that, the rates are a bit higher. So you'll see on the screen right now, rates, if I'm looking for a 65-year-old female Plan G in New York, are quite a bit higher than they were in Texas. So the rates can vary quite a bit based on where you live. Other things that could impact your monthly premium for your Medicare supplement plan are your gender, your age, whether or not you use tobacco, and whether or not you're married or living with someone. There can be discounts available with certain insurance companies based on your living situation. I recommend contacting an independent Medicare agent for the most accurate Medicare supplement rate quote for you specifically. Now, we do this in my office. We are licensed independent brokers, but you'll want to talk to an independent agent, one that works for many different companies. That's what we do in my office, or another great broker if you find one. You want to get the most accurate rate quotes and pricing, since pricing can vary quite a bit depending on which company you choose. You can always call or email our office. That's how we make our living, is by helping folks find and enroll in the best Medicare plans for their needs. So who should and who should not get a Medicare supplement plan? This is a question I get frequently. Now, here's my advice. If any of the below sounds like you, then I would recommend considering purchasing a Medicare supplement plan, especially when you first turn 65 if you are not on Medicare yet. If you really like the freedom to choose your own doctors, then you should choose a Medicare supplement plan, since you're never going to have to worry about provider networks. If you expect to potentially have high medical costs in the future, then I'd recommend purchasing a Medicare supplement plan to help cap and lower your out-of-pocket exposure. Even if you're healthy now, but maybe you have a strong family history of chronic conditions, this could be something to consider. If you like to travel, let's say you're a snowbird, you're an RVer, or you have grandkids that live in a different state that you like to go visit frequently, Medicare supplement plans, since they have no networks, work anywhere in the country. So these plans are really the easiest option for people that like to travel a bit. If you would rather just pay upfront every month for your premium and know that you will have little to no medical bills, then I would recommend a Medicare supplement plan. You know what you're going to pay every month for your Medicare supplement monthly premium, and you're not getting hit with huge surprise medical bills, since most or all of the gaps in Medicare are being covered by your Medicare supplement plan. Now, with that said, who should not get a Medicare supplement plan? If you have a retiree plan that is already designed to work with traditional Medicare, then chances are you may not need a Medicare supplement plan. Many people, federal or state retirees, have these retirement plans that are built in for them that are designed to work right along with Medicare. And if you already have one of these very comprehensive, very affordable retiree plans, then chances are you don't need to purchase a Medicare supplement plan. If you have TRICARE for life, that also works just like a Medicare supplement plan. So many people that have TRICARE for life will choose to not purchase a Medicare supplement plan since they already have very complete coverage through TRICARE. Finally, if your budget does not allow for an additional monthly premium on top of your Medicare Part B premium, many people don't realize when they go on to Medicare, they have to pay a premium to be enrolled in Medicare Part B. This year, that premium is about $175 a month. And for many seniors, they just cannot afford an additional $100 or $150 a month every month on top of that Part B premium. For these people, you may want to consider a Medicare Advantage plan instead. Medicare Advantage plans are $0 a month in most parts of the country, and you can look for a PPO or a more open network Medicare Advantage plan. Now, these plans do have pros and cons that you really want to get educated about before you sign up for one. We work with Medicare Advantage plans here in our office, so we can help with either type of plan you choose. And I've also linked some videos below that you want to check out when it comes to Medicare Advantage. But if this sounds like you, then a Medicare supplement plan may not be for you. You may want to look for a Medicare Advantage plan instead. Now, the big trick when it comes to Medicare supplement insurance plans that many people don't realize is that Medicare supplement plans are typically medically underwritten plans. And what that means is that the insurance company can ask you a series of health questions on your application, and based on your health history, your current health, or the medications you take, they could choose to deny your application for coverage, or they could charge you a much higher premium based on your health. Now, the only time that they cannot do this, when you can sign up for any Medicare supplement plan with any insurance company and they don't ask you anything about your health, is when you are new to Medicare or when you're turning 65. During this time, you get a one-time 6-month open enrollment window where you can choose any Medicare supplement plan you want, regardless of your health. But after that window closes, you may need to pass through medical underwriting if you want to buy a Medicare supplement plan for the first time or switch from one Medicare supplement plan to another. Now, there are some exceptions to these rules based on where you live, but in general, that's how it works, and many people don't realize. So this is the reason you can't necessarily just do nothing for now and wait till you get sick to buy a Medicare supplement plan. It doesn't always work that way. Medicare supplement plans will be a good fit for many people on Medicare, not a good fit for others. And really the best plan for you is going to be based on several different factors. The most important thing is that you're making an educated decision when it comes to your Medicare coverage. So watching videos like this is an excellent way to get informed. You can always call our office for completely free, unbiased assistance. We are here to help with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped explain how Medicare supplement plans work, and we'll see you soon.
Things aren't supposed to be perfect. They need to be how you ever want them to be. You have to try your listening to be proactive so I can be proactive for myself. Bye.